For Wall Street Media, this is Elisa. I'm here with Doug, and we'll help you make money in the stock market with information you can't find anywhere else.
For better or worse.
That's right.
We've got two special ones here. We've got an interview with the CEO of Callidus Software with Marley, who's on site at the conference, and then we'll cut to that in a second. And then we've got him doing his presentation to the institutional audience as well. So the first part's Marley, and this is a cool company, man, and cutting costs. You know what? Watch Marley.
For Wall Street Media, this is Marley. I'm here with Leslie Stretch, the CEO of Callidus. So tell us a little bit about Callidus and what you do.
What we do is we manage the variable pay and the commissions processing for some of the largest companies in the world. So for HSBC, for Vodafone, for Sprint, many others in different industry sectors, for pharma companies like Merck and so on. And they have sales forces that are paid variable pay and commissions, large sales forces, often independent sales forces. We've got 4 or 5 of the largest healthcare insurers in the world as clients, sometimes up to 50, 60,000 payees under management. So we manage their variable pay, make sure they're paid the correct commissions, and out of that we create a very powerful data set for the enterprise so that a business can see which products and services, which revenues and margins are being sold in which countries, which regions, and by whom. So it's really the most strategic data set in the company because it's that variable pay data. In the particular climate, in the recessionary climate that we're in, we believe that variable pay is much more significant. Variable pay gets dialed up in a recession. Fixed pay gets dialed down. And so that's what we're all about. It's about the sales performance management for companies that have not just salespeople, but anyone who's on a variable compensation scheme, an incentive compensation scheme, where they're paid bonuses for performance. It's all about pay for performance.
And what are you doing to grow and attract more investors?
So we, a couple of years ago, created a software as a service business. We had been a traditional perpetual license business, and our software as a service on-demand business is growing because we can get into, particularly in a recessionary climate, we can get into clients with a solution who don't perhaps have large capital budgets but have operating expense budgets. So we can deliver this whole sales performance management story as a bit stream over the web in a very modern way as a service instead of traditional software. And that business is growing very, very well for us. We gave full year visibility of our recurring revenues this year, up some 50% from last year. So that's the key growth piece for us.
That sounds very attractive. Thank you so much for speaking with me today, Leslie.
It's a pleasure.
Bye.
Good interview, right? Gets me interested in them, right? He seems confident, and he seems like he's very certain and definite. Like, we're cutting costs. We have costs we didn't announce, right?
Yeah.
You know, even that they didn't declare, right? And he seems very confident that in this environment, even that they might even do better.
Exactly. That the recession,
which doesn't exist,
but is good for their company.
Right.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Cool stuff, right?
I
Nice
know.
work, Marley. And we've got a clip of his presentation to the institutional investors.
Awesome. And he tells them a little bit about how they were even able to buy back $10 million worth of their own stock.
Yeah, neat stuff, right?
That. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's see this.
Recent events, in 2007 we hit 100 million, crossed 100 million of revenue. We took a look at the costs. I was appointed CEO 1st of December. We took a look at the cost regime and we set out to create a sustainable, visible, profitable business. We took some pretty serious measures for a company of our size, 8% plus RIF. We publicly said that we would save 5 million of cost run rate. We came out at the start of this quarter and said that we would have 12 to 13 million of operating expenses. That's down 3 million from a year ago. We've done a number of other discretionary, taken a number of other discretionary measures that we haven't published. We made an acquisition of Compensation Technologies, principally a consulting group out of Arizona, a profitable consulting group, and we've essentially employed their entire management team to run our consulting business in order to raise margins, change the culture, improve utilization. They also had a software as a service implementation capability, and they also had a hosting business, which we got in that acquisition. We announced a $10 million share buyback, and we've already bought in Q1. I think we spent a couple of $1 million, so we've gone into a quarter of that in Q1 so far. And we gave for the first time recurring revenue visibility of 35 to 40 million for 2008. We gave that at our Q1 earnings call.
See, now that's a highlight from the webcast, and we have the whole thing. You can watch the whole webcast, right?
That's right, at wsw.com/webcast/BRileyCo9. And remember, We love feedback.
Do you own this guy's company? I watch this, and I see 20,000 CEOs a year, right? You didn't see 400 of them come up today. We picked the ones that we like, okay?
Really?
And they whet my appetite when I put them up here, right? I'm not going to show you stuff that I think, oh, this is horrible, right?
Yeah.
I mean, other than,
Yeah.
but
Man.
I mean CEOs, and so anyhow, I get excited, and I think like, wow, this guy says revenues I think are growing by like 50%, right?
Exactly.
They announced they're going to be higher.
Yeah.
In tough times, he seems super confident, right?
Right.
Seems like a smart, confident guy that I want to trust with my money.
Exactly. So you guys need to tell us what you know about
Right.
him.
But exactly,
Yeah.
because that's what happens. I get all excited and everything, and I'm like, let's
Right.
go, you know. But I want to learn from the audience too. If you guys own this company, click the feedback button. Tell me if you own them already. You can follow and see. I don't just tell you things or do things in an empty way. I buy a lot of these companies, and you can watch for free on Covester.com and see the ones that I buy. Okay, it's a free thing. We're not selling you anything. We're bringing you the CEO interviews. We're bringing you the interview with Marley, the clips from the conference, because I think I'm trying to share the information that we have.
Exactly.
Fantastic
All
stuff.
right.
Click feedback. Tell us about if you own this company or their competitor. I'm impressed with them, and I may add them, and you can follow and see on Covester.com if I do.
All right. We are here every day at Wall Street Media. You can find us directly at WSMCO.com. Thanks for joining us.